Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can, just tell me that I can.
Welcome back to another episode of Rob Sports Center. Man, as you can see by the title, man, first upset of the year. Well, college football has officially started, and it started in spectacular fashion with a major upset with Georgia State beating Florida State with a walk-off field goal, 24-21. So I'm sorry, Florida State fans, but this happened in good timing because I've been trying to get people to understand this thing, and I'm gonna use this situation as a teaching tool, right? So I in the last few years, as I've become more of a pugilist for the sport of football, I understand that some things aren't what they seem, and a lot of things are smoke and mirrors. And let me clarify what I mean by that. So a lot of times we tend to go based off of this on paper, how good a team is. We look at, okay, here's the quarterback, here's the receiver, here's the running back, here's the tight end, and that's how we decide who's gonna be the victor in that game. And like I like to tell people, I used the Miami Heat from a year ago when they played the Denver Nuggets. Well, that whole run up into the playoffs, you know, for them to come into the playoffs as the number 8 seed and to beat every seat, including, you know, every seat ahead of them to get to the finals and to even pull off a game against Denver, it showed you that sometimes it's not all about athleticism. And a lot of times it's not all about athleticism. And obviously I know Georgia Tech didn't walk over Florida State. I watched the game and it looked like a pretty even game from on both sides. I mean, I feel like in certain aspects, Florida State probably could have capitalized on. They could have been a little bit more fundamentally sound. Same thing with Georgia Tech. It just comes with the territory. Every game is not going to be perfect, you know. But that just goes to show you that the margin of error within this is so slim. And Tom Brady is another guy who's opened my eyes to a lot of things. And like he said, taking that year off before coming to broadcasting, it was a benefit for him because he was able to look at it from a spectator's standpoint and realize that, bro, a lot of things have to go right in order to win and to consistently win. So you're always one mistake away from losing regardless. You know, we got to understand that obviously, okay, yeah, on paper, Florida State is a better team. They have much better athletes. You know what I mean? Coaching can be debatable. I don't know the situation in terms of coaching, but a lot of times coaching does play a very vital part in a team's success because good coaching can outdo what they lack there on paper. Because at the end of the day, it's like this. Titles don't win games. You know, reputations don't win games. Winning games is lining up in between those white lines and coming out there and performing. Like, just because you have the better quarterback statistically doesn't mean that you're going to win. Just because you have the better receiving score statistically, that doesn't mean that you're going to win. Just because statistically, in a lot of aspects, we might have one of the worst ranked defense, that don't mean that they're going to come out and play like that. So you never, nothing is ever certain. Nothing is ever guaranteed. Nothing is ever a for sure bet. You still have to come out there and play. So it's like I say, as my knowledge for the game has grown so much now, I'm not intimidated by names. I'm not intimidated by reputations because, hey, at the end of the day, it's like this. You might be one of the best teams. You might have a reputation of being a team that hit hard, that's a very physical team, but at the end of the day, guess what? You still have to get between them white lines with me, and I'm a gauge to see how physical y'all are because you might was out physical to those 9 teams that you was more physical than. They wasn't physical teams. Now you running up on an equal person. You know what I mean? Like it's like I seen an interview one time with Adrian Broner. He's a boxer, world champ. You know, if you guys are familiar, if you guys don't know, if you're familiar with him, you know him. He was on the Breakfast Club and they was interviewing him, and they was talking about how I think Charlemagne was saying how Triple G, he feel like Triple G lost his knockout power because his last few fights he had to stop. And Adrian Broner was like, nah, he's like, I mean, you're not going to knock out. He's like, you're not going to stop everybody you fight. He's like, eventually, and excuse my vernacular, but he was like, eventually you're going to run up on somebody who with the shits just like you are. You know what I mean? So regardless of rank and regardless of positioning, sometimes you're going to run up on a team that's with the shits just like you. And now you're preparing to go up against a team who you think is going to lie down just because y'all are who y'all are. And when you find yourself in a dogfight and it's time for you to really show and live up to what the hype is, a lot of times you can't do that because the hype defeated people more than the actual play. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna get too deep into my Eric Thomas mode, but I wanted to come do a little brief touch on that. I was gonna kind of write down a box score and just kind of talk about some things I noticed. But I was like, I want to make this video more so for this. But I will say, in terms of Georgia State, well, even Florida State, man, in my opinion, I don't think Florida State has a lot to worry about. I'm not going to sit there and say that, okay, they lost one game, their season is over with. You know what I mean? Like I say, the margin of error is razor thin. But I will say that Georgia Tech's quarterback, he looked nice for the most part. I like what I've seen from him. Now, I will say this. This is who needs to be the MVP of this game, other than the kicker. So, if you guys remember, Georgia State, they fumbled the ball. Quarterback fumbles the ball, right? Offensive lineman comes up with it. Now, I don't know if that was the center, left tackle, or what, but whatever offensive lineman came up with that fumble, he needs to be the real MVP because that fumble would have put them, right, at probably about the 50-yard line, and that would have gave Florida State 50 yards to work with, and 9 times out of 10, they would have been able to move the ball forward to get into field goal range. But not only that, that sucks away the momentum from Georgia Tech and gives it to Florida State. And if they don't come up with that fumble, that might be a different outcome in that game. You know what I mean? Just saying. But let me know what you guys think about that. Like I always tell you, man, let me know if you agree with me. And if you agree with me, let me know why, because there might be some things I might have missed out on. Same thing if you disagree, let me know why, because there might be some things that I missed out on and I changed my opinion of it. You know what I mean? Like I say, in a lot of ways, I try to say that this channel is mostly facts, not opinions, but to a certain extent, it's a reasonable opinion base. And like I said, I'm not perfect, so it might be things I skim over and miss, and that's why I need you guys to, keep me on point. So, man, come with the comments, man. I'm all for it. But as you guys can see, man, that's it for this video. If you did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, click that post notification bell, man, because you know you're going to be getting some of the best analytics on YouTube. Not just YouTube, eventually the world, but for right now on YouTube, man. So for that alone, man, make sure you click that post notification bell, the way you be notified every time I upload, man. I got these videos coming back to back, man. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out this thing. Peace.